rise one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Hello, I'm Pastor Loretta Petit, host of The Loretta Petit Show, Women Winning at Life from Ministry to Marketplace. I'm a preacher, teacher, and soul reacher. I am a veteran broadcaster as well as an author. Listen, our broadcast, this podcast, it is about you and me as Christian women, how to rise above, to live, laugh, love, and live our best life. It's inspirational, educational, and relational. Tap a sister, tell her, tune in. You guys lock it in Thursdays from 5:30 until 6 Central Time. That's 5:30 until 6 p.m. only on Elation Radio.
Happy Saturday, happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for joining Next Level with Trenace. I am so happy that you are spending 60 minutes, give or take, of your 1,440 minutes of your Saturday with me. Our Saturday guest, our regular third Saturday guest, unfortunately, is not going to be joining us today. The Money Maven, she had flat tires, so she's not going to be able to join us in studio today, but that's okay. This is just space for you and I at this point. So 7 months ago, we're 7 months into COVID-19, so it's time for a little check-in, a reality check, a heart check, pulse check, a check. So I know that it when this actually started, I kind of personally thought it was a form of the flu. I, like many of you, were sent home for what I believe would be a few weeks of quarantine. Those weeks turned into months, and then I started back into work. I actually, after 2 months, was called back into work, and that call back into work lasted all of 4 days. And on that fourth day at that night, I got a phone call at 9 o'clock, not to return to work until I was called back in. But during that time, I had some time to evaluate some things, because although people have been wanting to cancel 2020, it has not been a canceled 2020 year for me. This pandemic has shaped me, pushed me, really changed me, and the things that really motivate me. I really had the time to appreciate the small things that I never really appreciate, because the thing about life is we take it for granted. Something such as simple as waking up in the morning, the fact that we can all open our eyes me. I can open my eyes, and most of you, when you open your eyes, you can see and you can wiggle your toes and you can get out of bed no matter how quickly or slowly you can move about your home. I was able to appreciate those small niceties. I think I would call them niceties, because some of these niceties, some people just don't have them. I was able to have an appreciation for some of the simpler things, as the green grass when I go out to my patio, or even the wind blowing through the trees, that I really didn't pay very much attention to, because I was working, coming home, and doing my business work. So because of that, I appreciate what this COVID-19 has done for me personally, in my personal life and in my business life. I was one of the fortunate ones, though, because I was able to go to work. I did online classes, and although I hated those online classes, and I hated the fact that my work job, the place that I go that pays me, they decided to pay me with my vacation. I wasn't happy about that at all, but the fact that I could be paid and I was still gainfully employed was definitely something to appreciate, when there were so many of those that were unemployed, and although they did get unemployment benefits, they were in hopes that they didn't know how long that was going to last, and it didn't last. And then in some states it's restarted, but not at the same level that it was. So many things happened since the start of this. I've watched people get sick. I've heard of people get sick. So many people that I was personally connected to were affected directly and indirectly, and because they were affected directly and indirectly with COVID-19, unfortunately, because I'm more of an empath, I was affected by their level of effect. This was a time that I found opportunity. God had not only shut down your town, your city, your state, or even the country, but he had shut down the entire world. Although the United States is not really taking this as seriously as many of the other countries were, there are some of us that are. COVID-19 is dangerous, and it is killing people, and it's not killing a little bit of people. They're given this percentage of the amount of people that it's killing and comparing it to flu. You can't compare it to flu because it's not the flu. The symptoms are similar, but then where you know how flu is going to end for the most part, it's like some 0.01 or something of percentile that dies from the flu. COVID-19 is killing people at a rate, and it's mutating at a rate where it's causing other irreparable or some things that we don't even know what's going to happen. Now, we're going to put that on the sidebar because the thing is, what have you done with your time? What have you really done with this time? Everybody says that they don't have enough time because they're busy going to work. They're busy shuttling their kids back and forth to sports events. They're busy hanging out. They're busy doing the things that aren't really all of that important. I would say me too, because me too. Although I have business, although I'm writing books, although right now I've been super busy due to COVID-19. I haven't been to concerts. I haven't traveled. I've kind of missed business opportunities where I can be in a place and connect with people. But COVID-19 has allowed me to reconnect with my mind, my body, my spirit. And that's been a great benefit because those things, when the time that you invest in yourself, that gives you opportunity to grow you and influence those around you, because the more that you invest in you, the more that those that are connected to you directly and indirectly, they get the benefit. So what have you done with your time? Have you spent time with your family? Have you started online classes? Have you written that book that you've been saying that you were going to write forever? What about all of those things that you said that you were, air quote, too busy to do, but now you have all of the time in the world? Because a lot of things are closed. The world is trying to open back up. It's trying. But don't let the world opening back up distraction from what God intended for you to actually do. Consider this, because this is just one way of looking at it. This is my way of looking at it. You might not look at it that way, but this is my way of looking at it. The fact we are all connected. And I say that we are all connected because in Genesis, when God created Adam, he created Adam and he created everything else. And then Adam was responsible for everything else. And then God saw that Adam was alone, and he created Eve. Now, there are some other little stories about some other things that happened in creation when it comes to man and woman. But when it comes down to it, man was alone, and God saw that that was not right. And he put us all down here with our own individual purposes, but our own individual purposes were connected to other people's purposes. So the thing about that is, God didn't just put you in your mother's womb for you to be birthed and for you to just live a life and not do anything. We all have a purpose. This was time, or this is still time, to tap into what that purpose is. If you don't know, if you are afraid of what your purpose is. Because the thing is, we are all responsible for not only our life, but the lives that we are supposed to affect. And we don't ever know what life we are meant to touch, directly or indirectly, influence. We don't ever know that. But the thing is, when you do nothing, then those remnant of people that you're responsible for influencing directly and indirectly, pouring into directly and indirectly, they don't get what they need from you, and then they, on the next level, can't proceed to do what they need to do for the remnant of people that they are to influence. So think about that. Just one person. You remember that commercial from years ago? I'm not going to, well, I tell you all I'm about to be 50 all the time. But at any rate, there was a commercial about telling two friends and so on and so on and so on. But that's what purpose is. Our purpose is to spread that one thing, that two things, those things that we are supposed to influence. It's supposed to drop that seed, and that seed is supposed to travel to someone else and someone else to someone else. So as a woman in business, as a certified life coach, because, I got my certification during this pandemic. I got a couple of certifications, and I'll have my master coach life coach certification probably in the next couple of days. So I did some things while I was at home. So that's why this time is so super important. So let me go back. So the thing about that is, it's so important to have the understanding that you were not put here just to live your life. Because ultimately, there's always somebody watching you, somebody that you're influencing directly, your children, your grandchildren, people in your family, and then there are people that you are indirectly influencing. Because social media is so, everybody uses social media. There may be someone watching you on social media do different things, and you're influencing them indirectly. You may know them by knowing somebody that they know, right? So that part right there, it is so super important at this time to have the understanding what your purpose is and that we are not alone. So I'm going to use this as the whistle blow for going into the fourth quarter, because this is September, October, November, and December. September is almost over. We're going into the end half of the year. This is your call to action. 2020 is not going to be canceled. I don't care how many memes they say. They are funny, but 2020 is not going to be canceled. And to be honest, 2020 has been better to me than any of the previous years. And when I think about that, when I turned 49 in November of last year, what I said was the next 50 years are going to be better than the past 48 that I had already lived. And 2020 has proven that. No, I haven't gone to as many concerts as I love to go to. I had only gone to 2. No, I had not traveled nearly as much as I had planned to, because I plan every year at the end of the year my level of travel. But I could not have planned to be on the cover of a magazine with Tamron Hall. I could not have planned that. I could not have planned to have written 3 articles in a magazine. I could not have planned that. I could not have planned, what else have I done this year? I could not have planned launching an all-girl, all-woman podcast group, the Collective station. You can follow the Collective podcast station on Facebook, I could not have planned that. I wouldn't have even had the time for that. I wouldn't have even had a thought for that. I could not have planned. What else has happened to me? I just couldn't have planned any of the things that COVID-19 has given me the opportunity to be in. Because these are all things that I had always wanted to do, but I was just too busy to do it, right? Because that's how our life is. We're just busy. And see, there's a difference between being busy and be successfully completing these things that we're busy at. So busy and busy work. Because we all can get busy work. You know, the busy work that you had when you were in school at the beginning of the day that the teacher gave you to start your day, right? That busy work. The busy work of defining words or whatever. It's no time for busy work anymore. It's time to activate, time to move forward. It's time to stop planning and stop planning and planning and planning and planning, because no matter how you plan, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be just right. It's never going to be just the right time. Never, ever, 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 as long as you live. And the more you keep practicing perfection, the more you will not move into your purpose, your reason that you were placed on this earth, the reason that you are supposed to connect, the people that you are supposed to be responsible for. I'm just checking in with y'all to see what y'all on, you know. The other part of that, I want to say, get back to what you started doing at the beginning of this, which is calling people. The fact that we are not here by ourselves, God created us to connect to Him, and He created Him to connect to us. That means that we are not alone. And just because we are in quarantine and we got social media, it's time to pick up these iPhones that we spending these hundreds of dollars for. It's time to pick up these Androids that we're spending hundreds of dollars to have. It's time to use technology for what technology was used for, and that's to hear that voice on the other end, for you to have an understanding or a reminder of the importance of human communication. Because as connected as we are with Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, all of these other avenues of connectivity, of community, digitally, we are so disconnected from one another. But the other part of that being disconnected from one another, we have become disconnected from ourselves. Me too. I'm not just talking about you all. Me too. It's easy to log in to social media and see what everybody else is doing. And use that as a way to veg out and not move into what you are doing. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with social media. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with TV, because what I have learned about myself during this pandemic is I love Asian series, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. If it's 60 episodes, I'm all in. So please don't take this as I'm telling you not to. We all deserve a break, but don't let your life, your moments, your 1,440 minutes that you have of every minute, don't let that 1,440 minutes in your day that we get every day, don't let that be consumed with just stuff, meaningless stuff. You know, meaningless stuff. Make your time count, because as Chadwick Boseman has shown us, we don't know when we're gonna die. Well, he knew, but we didn't know. It was so suddenly to us. But he lived his life in the moment every day. And I don't know what that looks like, to know that you have this disease and you could die. But some people are just dying quickly with no reason for death. So let's not waste any more time. Right? Promise me that. No wasting no more time, no wasting opportunity. Because as good as COVID-19 has been to us, it's been bad for some. There are people who are looking at the people that they're married saying, dang, this you? And that's something that they didn't really have to deal with, because they were out at work or socializing. They weren't confined to the house so much. Domestic abuse has gone up. Divorce has gone up. Child abuse has gone up. These are the negative things. Loneliness, depression. So when your mind is not operating in things that it should be doing, it's easy to navigate into negative. Now, lastly, this is your public service announcement. We have about 40 some odd days to the presidential election. Early vote, find out, is your state an early vote state? That's the first thing. Get out and early vote. If you don't have an early vote state, if you have an early vote state, then you probably have the opportunity to grab your mail-in ballot and take it directly to the election board if you don't feel that you can trust your mail. Newsflash. A federal judge who has declared that all election mail is to be moved as first-class mail. So that's the other thing. If you have not registered to vote, I think maybe October 5th and is the last day that you can register to be a part of this presidential election. Check your area that you live in. Find out what you can do to get your vote. If you are registered to vote, check. Every state has their way, or every county has their way to check what your status is on your voting roll, and you still have time to make it happen, but it's running out. Don't vote for a party because of your loyalty. Vote for the people that say that they are going to do things that you believe in, and give them that opportunity. Because we know what these past 4 years have been, right? We know what the past 4 years have been. So I don't think that I can take another 4 years like this. I don't think our country can take another 4 years like this. Get out and vote. Vote, 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 vote. Vote like you voted when President Barack Obama was elected the first time and the second time. Vote not based on, vote. Vote based on what you know you need health care. You know that guy is not trying to give you health care. Don't vote for him. Don't vote for the people who are enabling him to do wrong, right? Don't do that. So that was my public service announcement. And I just want to do a little house cleaning at the end, right? Now, that's weird. Most people do that at the beginning. So, a couple of things. I do this great podcast on Elation Radio every Saturday, right? And I so appreciate this podcast station, Elation Radio, and Kimmy Kim. Fabulous. Make sure you're checking out all of her shows. The other thing is I have some great shows on The Collective, all women. I'm dedicated to talking about business life, money, just all things, and it's The Collective. And The Collective is The Collective because it's community. It's community with women, and it's community for us as a people. So that's why that was created, The Collective. Next thing. I'm just so unprepared, but I am so glad that you are spending some time with me today. And I was just so excited to share this drop of hope, drop of movement. It's time to go. Don't give up. No, this year was not what you expected to be. Everyone was proclaiming 2020 vision. Your vision is still here. You just have to adjust your vision, Just adjust it. It hasn't changed. Just adjust it. That's it. Just adjust it. We have 2 more weeks in September. We got October, November, December. COVID-19, they're expecting it to rev back up for this winter because of flu season. Get your flu shot. I don't necessarily agree with the flu shot normally, but this time I am. Just because you want to rule out this is flu or this is COVID-19. You want to be able to figure that out. You want to keep in practice the things that, oddly enough, we learned how to wash our hands when we were kids, right? Oddly enough, we learned how to cover our mouth when we were kids, right? Crazy thing about things when we were kids, growing up, coming back, reminding us that we should be washing our hands and covering our mouth, things that we should have been doing in the first place. So keep on washing your hands. Keep on covering your mouth. Wear a mask if you have to go outside. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you, I promise you. If you're in a place where you need to wear a mask, just put the mask on. It's not going to hurt you. Just put the mask on. And then when you come out, just take the mask off. It's not going to hurt you. Now, the thing about these masks, I kind of got a theory, because if you know me, you don't know I do a lot of reading. So I read that there was this research done about this mask wearing thing. And all of these masks that we've been wearing have not been the best protection for us. I think the N95 was the best one, the one without the filter. That one was the best mask. But all of these other masks are not very good masks. So the other part of that is, think about this herd immunity that they're talking about. It might be possible because all of the masks that we have been wearing, me too, because when I go outside, I do wear a mask. I wear some cute ones. I wear some regular ones. But at any rate, I wear a mask. There are certain masks that are not exactly, all of the masks for the most part are not the most protective. And the fact of that is we've probably come in contact with COVID-19 because your neighbors have not stayed in the house. So we may have come in contact with COVID-19 and not even known it. So that's positive, but the negative part is you could have come in contact with it and didn't know it and could have it and could pass it on to someone else, right? So I said all of this to say that continue to do the best that you can to protect yourself those that you love. I want us all to come out of this happy, safe, and sound. When the world opens up, I hope we'll be able to travel out the country, because as of right now, there are a lot of countries that are not letting Americans in. I don't know, because we wouldn't act right, not act, but act right during COVID-19, or because of the person who was elected into office, or maybe it's the two. But be safe, be smart. The ultimate act of self-love is to stay in the house if you can. Cover your mouth when you cough as usual. Wash your hands as usual. Those things are super important. As they were protecting from the flu, they are important to protect from COVID-19. And I want to thank everybody for rocking with me this afternoon. Be safe. I love you. Thank you for joining me, and join me next Saturday on Next Level with Trenace. Goodbye for now.
Has anyone ever told you that you were a boy? Have they told you how valuable you really are?
He gave you the moon, the stars, the sun. He gave you everything. He gave you the pearls, the fur, the diamond necklace, and the ring. He told you that you were his queen and that you two would never part.
How many other women has he said that to?
And then he broke your heart.
Girl, I can't let you stay in this place. But that was so long ago. Can I tell you you're blessed?
You have to remind yourself.
Come on, say it with me. I'm more than a conqueror.
You're more than a conqueror. Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so You have to remind yourself.
Come on, say it with me. I'm more than a conqueror.
You're more than a conqueror. Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you let your light shine.
Can I tell you that you are
So
vibrant, creative,
that it hurts.
you're blessed, extraordinary in
You're
all your
so
ways.
much more.
Let your light
Then you
shine.
sing your words. Girl, you're so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. Beautiful.
He gave you everything. He gave you the pearls, the fur, the diamond necklace, and the ring.
Eh.